Hi there guys, in this video we'll be having a look at the Diamondback Scout. This ship was added in 1.3, so it was added a while back. It has a kind of a thing for mostly kind of combat and exploration. It's not really suited to trading. Anyway, let's have a look at this ship. Yeah. So like I said, on paper and all that lot, you may not really see why it has its price, but I'll go into that in a minute. With the cockpit view, we do have a little bit of restrictions on the actual view. We have these two kind of bars in front of us, which do kind of give us a little bit of a blind spot. The left, we don't have too much of a problem. Again, another bar, though I can't see that being much of a problem. And same on the right. Like I said, this is a smaller cockpit, so we only have one chair. So let's have a look at the outfitting. So on this we have 4 hard points. We have 2 small, which are directly to the left and right of the cockpit, I think. Then we have another 2 hard points, which are medium. They're, I think, a little bit further back, but by the looks of it, they're pretty close together. Then we have 4 utility mounts for our kill warrant scanner, shield boosters, etc. Then we have armor as normal on every other ship. Reactor wise, we have 15.6 up to, which should be okay in most circumstances. You could maybe have to manage the power a little bit. It depends what you do with the build, but it should be enough. Jump range, like I said, we get at least 24 light years. Like I said, this ship can get a bit further, which should make it pretty good for exploration. At the time when you've equipped a fuel tank and fuel scoop and that, you should get a pretty good decent range out of it. It's kind of slightly beaten by a few of the other ships like the Asp Explorer and the Anaconda for exploration, but generally it should be a pretty good ship for exploration. For our internal compartments, we have 3 class 3 and then a further class 2 slot. So we don't have many internal compartments, and that's why it doesn't make it very ideal for trading. For exploration, it should be enough. Time you put in a fuel scoop and maybe a fuel tank, but you could have to drop off the shield and get the 2 advanced discovery scanner and the surface scanner if you're going to do that, which is not ideal. You can't, but it should provide you a pretty decent range. So let's show you the outside of the ship. So the outside of the ship, it's kind of a different theme altogether. To me, it kind of looked like a fly, if you see what I mean. It's kind of not that exciting to me, but at least it's a different kind of theme. Because I prefer the kind of Imperial ships, but that's just me. So yeah, the combat wise, it does have a unique feature there, which is it does have a very low heat output. I don't know if you can see it on the far right, which can make this ship ideal for stealth attacks. What you do is go into silent running, and then you'll be able to attack your target without them auto-locking onto you. The downside, obviously, you've got no shield, but this should be able to remain in silent running for quite a long time. which could also make it quite good for sneaking smuggling cargo onto a station. Trading, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not suited for that. It hasn't got enough internal compartments. You could just pick up a few odd wares here and there, but it's not really the focus of the ship. And then for exploration, it's a pretty good ship for exploration. It potentially could have done with a few more internal points to give it more fuel tanks space and stuff like that. Though you could drop the shield off, which you could get away with because you don't potentially need it in exploration, but it would just give you that extra buffer in case anything rammed into you. And if you've gone exploring for a couple of weeks and then come back and get blown up because you haven't got a shield, it could be really frustrating. But generally, yeah, you could do quite good work with exploration. So let's show you where these hard points are, which I think you kind of know where those are. As you can see, this ship is a pretty manoeuvrable ship. So let's have a look at the speed. So we're getting around the 282 mark with a boost of 370, which is not the fastest, but it is pretty quick. So let's try and show you where these hard points are, which I think are pretty obvious on this ship. Like I said, the two by the directly left and right of the cockpit, and then I think we've got a set slightly further back, which isn't that much further back. As you can see, we have the hard points just directly in front of the cockpit, or just directly underneath the cockpit, and then the second set is just slightly further back. So that should make the guns on this pretty well focused on going forward. So like I said, although combat on this ship, there are other ships that can do the job probably cheaper. Do like how they've positioned, they're in a nice position. You could do the multi-cannons and the pulse lasers. Power issues you shouldn't have too much. I wouldn't probably recommend beams in this too much. They basically take a lot of heat. Generally, I don't recommend beams too much in most ships because they basically take a lot of power and they generate a lot of heat. But anyway, guys, that is the Diamondback Scout. Take care and have fun.